Hey all, Ken from Shadow Fallout 76 podcast here. And recently the Fallout community mobilized to help my husband Travis and myself with some really financially crippling medical debt. We were drowning, and after exhausting all other options, I was pushed and prodded by friends to explain the situation to everyone and ask for help from anyone willing and able to give it. The response was astounding. We both thank you all so deeply for what you did for us. I closed out the original GoFundMe as honestly, I was an emotional wreck recording those videos asking for help. And it was beyond uncomfortable being so on display and vulnerable like that. And if you saw the original video, you'll understand what I meant. I'm setting up this second GoFundMe to help us with some of the ongoing medical bills related to Travis's mental health support and recovery, as we're still a ways off from him being able to return to work. I'm posting this new GoFundMe to help Travis so that he can continue to receive his therapy for CPTSD and also to afford his health insurance, medications, and ongoing mental health costs that aren't covered by insurance. Ridiculously. They're many and average us $10,000 to $13,000 per year out of pocket after insurance. I'm an unusual case as a content creator in that the podcast and a lot of the volunteer charity and community work I do isn't connected to any real income. And don't get me wrong, I love it this way and wouldn't change that for the world. I live to create and help always for free, always for others. But unlike other streamers or creators who make money on the side or even fully support themselves, I don't. As mentioned above, sadly, in the United States, healthcare doesn't do enough to help people in need with their journey in healing. Mental health less so. I'm launching this GoFundMe ongoing, and if you can and want to help, any donation does. It helps with Travis's ongoing support and recovery. He's come a long way, and I'm very proud of him. This has been a 7-year recovery for us so far. The extra help offsets me having to try and drum up extra work, so I'll be able to stream more and create more for you. I'm not about to ask for help without giving something in return, so to try and raise awareness of the GoFundMe I've set up, I'm going to be streaming weekly on Twitch on Friday and Sunday nights to at least offer some entertainment and maybe some laughs in return. While bits and subs are always appreciated normally, for this, direct GoFundMe donations are much more needed right now. Do not help if you can't afford to. I don't want anyone to feel compelled to do so that could take anything from you, your loved ones, children, or your family, so you go without in some fashion. I have enough guilt already just asking for help in the first place, so taking something from someone in worse shape than we are, I'd lose sleep over. But if you can, only if you can, help would be appreciated. I wanted to share some information about CPTSD and raise more awareness of what it is. It's commonly misdiagnosed as bipolar 2 or even ADHD in youth. Travis has and suffers from CPTSD with some co-occurring conditions. Similar to PTSD, which stems often from a singular event, CPTSD is most commonly developed in childhood from deep and sustained trauma. We know where it comes from, and it's not for me to tell Travis's story. In the end, the why doesn't matter with the current situation and where he is in his recovery. But the thing with CPTSD is that it's patient. It's like a mental bomb waiting to go off in your head. For him, it was 3 decades before it did. Now everything's changed. That was 7 years ago, but through a lot of determination, help, and hope, he's come so far. It's a cruel and unfair irony considering what he endured at a young age and yet spent 20 years in healthcare and hospice trying to help other people. And yet he's been cursed by something he never deserved done to him. No one does. This particular diagnosis is so new, it's not even fully recognized yet. And I wanted to share some information about it. Complex PTSD, which is labeled as ICD-11, has a variety of different things associated with it. Negative self-concept, its persistent belief about self is diminished, defeated, or worthless, feelings of shame or guilt, emotional dysregulation, heightened emotional reactivity, violent outbursts, reckless or self-destructive behavior, disassociated states that can happen under stress, and interpersonal difficulties, persistent difficulties in retaining friendships, relationships, intense relationships, but difficulty maintaining emotional engagement. A lot of people over the years that I've talked to about this also have CPTSD, and it took them a while to get a proper diagnosis. The reason that's important is both the treatment of it in terms of the medicines and prescriptions that work, and even some of the therapies work differently than PTSD. It's also that some people who have CPTSD can't work. Those who cannot work are not lazy. They have a debilitating disorder that can hold them back from functioning in the workplace. And the symptoms of complex post-traumatic stress disorder impact how a person can function at home and in the workplace. It's difficult to do the chores and handle the responsibilities a job requires when unwanted memories and emotions constantly bombard the person. Just like PTSD, you're stuck in fight or flight mode and you can't get out of it. Some overlapping conditions view the world in extremes: changes in mood, depression, suicidal thoughts, loss of belief system, disassociation. All are really crippling disorders that can happen on their own, but with complex PTSD, you get kind of a melting pot of all of them. And there are less than 5 psychiatric hospitals in the entire United States that offer specialized treatment for those with complex PTSD and dissociative disorders. A lot of times, if you're someone who suffered from early childhood trauma, if you were ever diagnosed with ADHD or PTSD, it's worth it to push to try and see if you have CPTSD. There are specific tests for it that can help you find an answer. It's incredibly frustrating because it took us years to get a proper diagnosis. Again, just some information about complex PTSD, how it works, and even hopefully to build some more awareness of it. Not enough is being done with it. From what I understand, DSM-5, which is sort of the guidebook for mental health and disorders for psychiatrists as far as treatment and identification, CPTSD is supposed to be added in the DSM-6, the next edition, so hopefully that can help some people. Just some information that I wanted to give you about what Travis has and why it's been so difficult. It's also challenging because in some cases the brain is complicated. There's still so much that we don't know or understand, and in going through this journey with him, I've been learning a lot about mental health, how not enough is done for mental health, and even how frustrating it is that unlike other medicines that you can get for the body, the brain is so incredibly complex that it's hard to find the right mix of medication that work for one person, that can work for them but not work for somebody else. So it's kind of a crapshoot trying to figure out what's what. Anyway, I hope some of this information helps anybody out there who's really struggling with their mental health, has CPTSD, or maybe wanted to learn some more about it. I'll drop some links below so you can read up on CPTSD. And we again really appreciate everyone's ongoing support. We're very humbled by everything that everyone has done for us. Thank you.